Hello and welcome to High Vibe Astrology. This is Jennifer with a video on the Leo new moon occurring on August 16th, 2023 at 5:38 a.m. Eastern Time. This new moon is at 23 degrees of Leo and it forms a conjunction with retrograde Venus at 18 degrees. It also forms a trine to Chiron at 19 and the North Node at 26 degrees of Aries, a sextile with a South Node at 26 Libra, and a partile square to Uranus at 23 degrees of Taurus. This square from Uranus is the strongest aspect since it is a partile, or what we call an exact degree point, 23 of Taurus, 23 of Leo for the new moon. Venus at 18 is conjunct with a 5-degree orb, but it's separating because its motion is retrograde at this time. The feeling I get with these aspects is that major epiphanies are awakening the heart space and healing the inner child. Venus stations direct on September 4th, but in the meantime, while she is retrograde, we are all doing some major soul searching, perhaps having a deeper look at some of those abandoned places in the heart, maybe revisiting our own childhood, the innocence and wonder we may have had or may have felt robbed from having as a child. And we want to look deeper into that heart space and rediscover, dust off certain dreams and wishes we may have had as a child that were trained out of us, educated out of us, that the adults in our life at the time told us were absolutely impossible, irrational, it was just our imagination, we were being foolish, etc. We all know the dialogue that pounds down the intuitive, imaginative side of our vision, the spiritual vision that really truly connects us with divine consciousness and connects us with infinite possibilities. The adult self has taken on this connotation of being rational, logical, and we must, look at all of our options and deduce which one is best for us. But sometimes the intuitive, the still small voice within sees what the logical side of our brain, of our consciousness, cannot see, and knows that there's a shortcut, a more miraculous way of achieving exactly what it is that we want, that is not impossible. So this is all for the purpose of really establishing clarity on what we choose to bring forward into our future. And we have to remember that we have the power to choose, that we don't have to remain in a position of constantly regurgitating the past that the adults in our lives at the time were telling our very highly intuitive and imaginative child. Anything that feels like a regurgitation of the past, especially a past that was harsh, traumatizing, judgmental in any way, these are things that we need to let go of. The image and analogy that I'm seeing is an escalator. We are all ascending and we're all on the same escalator, but we're at different levels of that escalator. Each one of us is on our own steps, so to speak. But the escalator continues to move and evolve, each one of us. And we can stay on that same step and let the escalator ascend, but we also have the choice to pick up our feet and to move, however many steps we're comfortable with, to see from a higher perspective. And if we consciously embrace the change that the Uranus square is activating at the time of this Leo new moon, then we can ask, consciously work with divine consciousness and ask for a resolution that aligns with our higher purpose. And this can really be an exhilarating time. The other image that I'm getting, the other symbol that has really been coming forward lately in my own personal life, but definitely applies to this chart and the feeling that I'm getting, is the hummingbird that seeks nectar for nourishment. We can find and follow the people and circumstances that really nourish us, that put us at ease, that allow us to sink into serenity and experience life from that sense of wonder again. And if we decide that we are worthy of experiencing more bliss in our life, more serenity, more excitement, exhilaration, more passion and purpose, and really tap into the nectar of life, then we choose, just like the hummingbird. And the fascinating thing with these creatures is that they have the power to remember and return to those flowers and feeders that they visit each year. And even their movement defies logic. It's a great example for us to follow. But there are many interesting things about hummingbirds. They actually travel thousands of miles every year. They have a very high metabolism, and their bodies do not store fat, which is why they require so much nectar. But I love this analogy for us because this chart, this energy and cycle is really about consciously choosing what adds sweetness to life and does not allow our body, our energy, our aura to take on extra fat or extra baggage. This is a time for really letting go of all previous baggage and all of those negative spells, quote unquote, where an adult or any person pointed the finger at us and said, "That's wrong, you're not doing this correctly, you're not thinking about this correctly," etc. You can fill in the blank. But those are all, just like words are swords, they are weapons. They cast negative spells, or, as Sedna teaches us, we can create positive life stories. This is really a time for us to use our words, our mantras, our thoughts and beliefs, and our energy to focus unwaveringly on what it is that brings and adds sweetness to our life. And as we do that, we are revealing to others where they can travel as well. The other thing that I find fascinating about hummingbirds is that they can appear to not be moving. Their bodies appear to be hovering or remaining in one place, but the wings that are representative of the higher dimensions are moving like 50 times per second. And they're an amazing example of how the higher dimensions are constantly showing us how we can move through the multidimensional reality of our living instead of 3D reality. And the other thing that is so interesting and relevant about hummingbirds is that if they are caged, they will die. Hummingbirds need to be free. They need to be in motion. Their wings beat 1,000 times per minute, which is absolutely amazing. So these are the analogies I'm getting, and I'm hoping that this will encourage you in whatever way resonates to really let go of all that makes you feel caged, that makes you feel like you have to relive or revisit any negative, quote unquote, curse from the past. You can set yourself free. And while we are all ascending on that same escalator, We each have different perspectives, and we each have a different timeline that we're moving with and in rhythm with. But we also have the choice to jump a few timelines, to consciously invoke the power of divine consciousness, to have that dialogue and to ask to align with our highest timeline, our highest happiness, purpose, and destiny, and watch the miracles unfold. It is possible to witness miracles in our individual lives and then watch them expand exponentially in the collective. It's all about focus. It's all about the words we choose, the thoughts we dwell upon, and the energy and emotions we radiate. We can experience the full range of human emotions without drowning in the abyss of negative emotions. Allow yourself to feel them, but, understand that anything you're moving through that feels terribly negative, even if you're tapping in as an empath to what's going on in the collective and to other people's sorrow, allow it to move through you, but not stick. Allow it to wash over you, and if you need to cry, cry. Crying is very cleansing and releasing. It definitely helps heal anything that has been repressed and stored for a long period of time, whether it's your stuff or stuff that you're picking up from the collective. But feel it, release it, and move on as quickly as you can to the nectar of life, reminding yourself of the abundance and availability that Spirit has at all times for you to take the next step on that escalator, to see more of what the inner voice is revealing to you in terms of the big, big truth. And remember that everyone's perspective is so very different. Anyway, that is what I have for you as the general read on this chart. Of course, I do have the affirmations and harmonies for the other aspects in the chart, and I hope that you stay tuned for that. As always, I appreciate the ways that you support this channel, and I look forward to your comments, and I hope that this resonates. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. This is Jennifer. Sun and New Moon for the Leo New Moon. I embrace and co-create a brand new cycle of life, responding to the essence of divine presence that immediately lightens my load and brightens each day. Sun, New Moon, and Venus for the conjunction. I consciously let go of all that is harsh and heavy so that I can immediately return to the sweetness of life. Sun, New Moon, and Chiron for the trine. Everything about my past has succeeded in its purpose to create a solid foundation of healing on which I now can build. Sun, New Moon, and Mars for the trine to the North Node. My future is exactly what I am creating in the now moment with every thought, word, and deed. Sun, New Moon, and Uranus for the square. The universe now delivers great miracles of abundance and happy surprises in every area of my life. Mercury and Jupiter for the trine. I now find more meaning in messages of abundance than in the abundance of meaningless words I've heard in the past. Mercury, Mars, and Uranus for the trine. My consciousness combines with energy to create spontaneous movement in ways that most align with my highest purpose. Mercury, Mars, and Neptune for the opposition. Consciousness now combines with action to wisely distinguish between a false mirage and authentic spiritual inspiration. Venus and Jupiter for the square. Divine Creator is the infinite source for my infinite stream of supply in all areas of my life. Venus and Uranus for the square. When the unexpected happens, I know that something even better than I had imagined is unfolding. Venus and Chiron for the trine. When one heart heals, all hearts receive the benefit. Saturn and Sedna for the square. Linear time now falls within the purview of multidimensional timelines, which evolves humanity at an unprecedented rate.